Kev say got me.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Lush Louisville.
Yes, Sarsky.
Episode 29. 29. We're almost to 30, obviously. We're wrapping up the season 3 here. It's coming to a close next week. Got a big guest next week and a big guest today. My buddy Ray Keys, A.K.A Dequan Tunstull. Went to high school with him. Pianist, super talented, super versatile. Gonna be a classic episode today. Super classic. But, on the other hand, yeah, welcome to Lush Louisville. We're shining light on Louisville creatives and their work. Don't really have much opening. Yeah, I just had another week of work at Amazon delivering packages. It was some nice days, 60 degrees or so, out in the country. Pretty nice. What else is going on? Went to Nashville last night, met some friends for dinner, went to the Centennial Park, Parthenon. Super nice, forgot how nice it was there. A lot of people out with their dogs, various stuff. There's a guy playing his sax in the Parthenon, sounded pretty awesome. Met him, gave him my card. His name was Jermaine, I think. So that was super cool. But if we're ready, if Daquan's ready, I'm ready. Let's get FaceTime up here. But how's everybody doing? Jump in the chat. What's going on? What's everybody got? What happened last week? What's going on this week? Let me know. First of all, there we go. Yo, Dequan.
Hey, Kevin. What's up?
What's up? How you doing? Welcome to Lush Louisville.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Great to have you on, man. How you doing today? How's your Saturday been?
It's been good. Just got off work and came over and set up.
What's your where are you working?
At School of Rock, Louisville.
Nice,
Yeah.
that's
teaching
right.
some lessons. Yep.
How's that going?
It's going well. I like teaching.
You do, really? Well, that's good. You what age? What age group?
A lot of them are kids, so a lot of them are in elementary through high school. A lot of middle
Not
schoolers. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Wide range. Yeah.
Any young Daquan prodigies in the midst?
I don't know about Dequan prodigies. They've all got their own style.
Good. That's good.
But
That's
yeah,
shit.
a lot of them are really talented. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Cool. Yeah, I forgot. I remember you told me that. The School of Rock. That's cool. Where is that in Louisville?
That's in Middletown.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Nice, man. So, what's up, Mom? Mom says hello, Daquan.
Hi.
She's looking forward to you serenading us.
Will do.
I kind of gave, well, I didn't really give a whole much too big of a background on you and
Okay.
what you do, but kind of go ahead and give us just a rundown on your background in Louisville. You know, where you grew up and where you went to school, things like that, and what you do. So go ahead.
I've lived in Louisville my entire life. So, yeah, born and raised here in the Derby City. I started. I mean, I've been around the
Facts.
piano for as long as I can remember. Um, but my great grandmother had a piano at her house, and so that's where I started to mess around on that and picked it up from there. I went to school K through I'd be seventh grade, eighth grade at no, that would have been seventh grade, right? Middle school, whenever that ends.
Middle school is 6th through 8th grade.
Fifth through eighth grade,
Yeah,
yeah. At
that's how long ago it was. You can't even remember.
yeah, I know exactly. It's great. At the Brown School, which is downtown,
Yeah, yeah.
about, and I started playing piano there. I started taking lessons when I was 12, I believe. It took for 3 years and then kind of stopped. But I first started taking lessons at Mom's Music, which is the competitor of where I work now. Uh,
Uh-oh.
but yeah, I started taking lessons there. I took from a guy named Joe D'Amato. I believe he's still there. So shout out to him.
Shout out to
And
Joe.
then, what do you say?
I said shout out to Joe.
Yeah, shout out to Joe. And then I took for about 3 years, I believe, and then I stopped for a while. And then when I got to manual, I decided to take the jazz improv class over at YPAS, and that's where I started jazz. And then everything kind of took off from there.
Okay, yeah. So, what's going on here? Sorry, I apologize. My stream is being a little funky.
Yeah.
I think it's better now. Whatever. Yeah. So you didn't start playing piano really like seriously until middle school. You're saying?
Yeah, that's when I started taking lessons. But yes, yes.
Okay. And so back to you saying you spent a lot of time around at your grandma's on her piano.
Mhm.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
grandmother, she had a piano like that too, and I was just always like dink around on it. But
Yep.
so
I don't remember not being around the piano. Like, that's how long it's been.
oh yeah, no, I feel that.
Yeah.
So when you're in middle school and you start
Mhm.
you start taking it seriously. You said you started taking lessons when you were 12.
I believe it was 12, yeah.
Yeah. And what I don't know, what was it like, how did you know the piano? Like when you started taking it seriously, why'd you want to start taking it seriously? Were you just like that good at it, or
I
did
mean,
you?
no. I mean, I wanted to take it seriously for as long as I can remember. But that
Yeah.
was the point where I'm like, okay, he's sticking with it. We'll give him lessons now. Like, that was I think it was a Valentine's Day present. They were like, here you go. And I was like, yes,
There you
finally,
go.
you know?
Right.
Um,
Cool. And so you get to YPAS or manual, and so
mhm.
you're not in YPAS, but you took the jazz improv class. When did you first take that class?
I took that our sophomore year.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Did you take it twice?
I took it 3 times.
Okay, I was gonna say because
Yeah,
I took it junior year and you were in my
sophomore
class,
through senior year, I took it.
and so is that kind of how you got introduced to Mr. Essig, or
Yep,
how did?
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah. I remember it was funny because like that was when I came back to really playing piano seriously, I guess. Like, I had stopped taking lessons. I think it was 2 years before I came back to, or it was a few years. It was some time until I came back to um, improving in that manner, like, being instructed on the keyboard.
right.
And I remember I was nervous about taking that class because I didn't know if I could do it or not. And so I went to him during the summer. I was like, "Can I have all this material ahead of time?"
Right.
So he gave me the binder, but before he would even let me into the class, he asked me one question. Remember, he was like, "How many keys are there?" And I was like, I panicked, and I was like, 12? Or no, I think I said 13. And he was like, "That's close enough. I guess it's fine." But like, if he had been like, "No," it'd be
Yeah.
crazy. Like, what would I be doing now?
Yeah. Well, that class really helped me in terms of
Yeah.
improvising from having like
Hmm.
a classical standpoint. But yeah, I was just curious how you kind of got started. So then you just continually took that class, and then
Yep.
were you when? So you were in jazz band sophomore year. Is that when you started, or did you play in it freshman
No,
year?
I didn't start till senior year, and I almost didn't do that.
Really?
No, 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 no. That's wrong. I think I did it. I did it junior year and senior year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I remember there was 2 piano players and y'all like switched off. Was that how y'all did
Mm-hmm.
that? Okay, I can't remember because
Yep.
but I do remember there was 2 of y'all. Okay,
Yep.
cool. And so you're I just like I don't know how to say this, but I mean I remember sitting in class and you're playing and he was just like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, dude, like this kid is like. And I remember telling my parents, I was like, look, obviously they're gonna come to the concerts, but I was like, y'all gotta
Mm-hmm.
meet this piano player. And my neighbors came too, our good friends, and they said the same thing. They were like, yo, that piano player was amazing. And
See, to me, it's crazy because I'm always like, I see other musicians and other players. I guess we all do that, and we're like, man,
oh yeah,
I need some of that, you know?
yeah. And that's awesome. That's like the best part of it. Exactly. I need some of that. You know what I'm saying? I see
Yep.
producers like all the time, and I'm like, man, I got to do that. I got to do this.
Yep.
So that's definitely a cool connection.
Yep.
So we're in jazz band. We're playing. We're jazzing it up.
Mm-hmm.
And senior year. I'm trying to remember some of those tunes we played. I mean, we played like grade 6,
Yeah,
level
they were
6.
nice.
Yeah. I remember the Duke Ellington tune, the Thunder, Such Sweet Thunder.
Yep.
That Latin tune, Huevos los,
Let's see. Yeah. Yes.
yes, Huevos los Huejos or something
Los
like that.
Pesos. Move your
Yes,
bones. Yeah.
yeah. And it was a Gordon Goodwin arrangement, I think. Something,
Yeah.
somebody like that. But I just remember that music was like, oh my god, dude.
Remember Lil Darlin'? I remember we tried to play that, and like we kept speeding up.
Dude, yeah,
Do, 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 do,
yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yo, now when you sing it, I remember it.
Yep.
That's crazy, man. I really miss being surrounded by that level of musicianship
Yeah.
in a tight setting like that. In the competition, really too. I sat right next to Henry. I was second alto. He was lead, and then we had 2 tenors. But yeah, man. So we're that's senior year, and you're had you been writing your own music then?
No.
No. Okay.
Not at all. No.
So when did what colleges did you apply for?
I only applied for undergrad to UK and UofL. That was it.
Yeah.
I kind of was just banking on the fact that I would get UofL and it would be free tuition.
Oh, absolutely. Especially
Yeah.
with the way you play. Plus, it's in Louisville. I'm sure
Yeah.
that was not an issue.
Yeah. It was fun though. Yeah.
Yeah. So talk about your experience. What was your studies jazz studies at U of L, or what
Yep.
was? Okay.
And I had a minor in Spanish, but yeah, music wise, it was jazz all the way.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. What a big part of me as a musician, I believe, is interaction, and collaboration, which is why I think I like jazz so much. Plus the fact that when you're little, you just watch shows, and I think like a lot of the stuff that I used to come in contact with had jazz as its like basis in music, and so I think that just transferred over. But at U of L, they really focus on that collaboration and that interaction, which I really like.
Good. Yeah.
A basis of jazz as well, because you have to take care of the people while you're playing. You have to support each other, especially as a keyboardist, as a pianist. When we that's sort of a company. When we accompany the soloist or the person that's playing the melody or a singer, we have to support them in any way we can. And I think I really like that aspect about it.
Yeah, for sure, man. And so you were in what were the ensembles that you were in? I know you were probably with Isaac Stevens and Blaze Grudy, right?
And my first 2 years straight, I believe, I was in Jazz 2,
Okay.
with the second big band. And then I did contemporary ensemble for a year straight. No, I did contemporary and I did Brazilian ensemble. And I did Jazz 1 for a semester, I believe, as well. Yeah, but it just varies. So it depends on your placement after the audition,
Right.
and your schedule and a bunch of different other stuff that the higher powers know.
Yeah. That's funny. So and so you were in this first 2 years, you said you were in jazz 2.
Yes.
After that you got into jazz 1?
Uh, I don't really remember the order. I between so I started and I left. I did like one, two, three, four different ensembles, which is good because I like that it enables you to be more well rounded. The more ensembles and different types of ensembles that you do.
Right.
Uh, so like jazz too, I started, and I mean I had been doing big band since high school, obviously. So like I was
Right.
kind of prepared for that,
Mm-hmm.
and the amount of material because we did some stuff with Essig, as you said earlier. Um,
Yeah.
and so I really enjoyed that, but also I wanted some other experiences. So then we went into I think I went to Brazilian ensemble next, and that was also really fun because we also got to do a lot of work with percussion,
Yeah.
and we got taught the class by some Brazilians, so that was cool because they have an exchange program at UofL,
Yeah.
or not exchange, but they apply to do their masters. And so that was really cool. Got to know some really great guys,
I
amazing
bet.
players, yeah,
Dude, I bet. Uh,
composers. My gosh.
I swear, that's what I was saying earlier. I just miss being around that level of musicianship.
Hmm.
And so, you're. I know U of L's School of Music is great.
Hmm.
And what were some of the other classes you took?
Um, music classes. We had to take 4 years of theory, which again I was pretty set up with for
Yeah, I bet.
Essig with Essig.
Yeah,
We had to take some music history classes. We had to take for jazz wise. I had to take arranging, and that was really cool. This was taught by Gabriel Evans, who's also my piano teacher. Um, and he's great. But yeah, so we took a bunch of different classes, and they all kind of contribute to your musicianship in their own unique way. Jazz history, jazz analysis, jazz theory,
wow.
bunch of
Jazz,
different stuff.
jazz analysis. What is that?
Yeah, so that's basically. I mean, yeah, that's basically like the harmony.
Oh, so like the
Um,
act analyzing the music. Okay, okay.
yeah, that's kind of yeah, analyzing the music and kind of paired with like the history of it all. We had a couple jazz history classes.
Right.
Um, so you're learning about the eras and the musicians and how the genre changed throughout time.
I bet that was super cool. What's your
Yep.
what's your favorite era of jazz?
I That's a hard question. I like them all for different reasons. That's a diplomatic answer.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I guess swing.
yeah.
If I have to pick one, just because I started listening to jazz with the big band era. So like Basie was like my first exposure that I remember. Um,
Yeah.
and I kind of still play like that. Like my comping is based off of the big band era jazz. I feel like,
Yeah.
in a way. Um, yeah, if I have to pick, it's that, but I would rather not pick.
Yeah, I figured there's a lot of eras.
Hmm.
I personally like the kind of the Miles Davis kind of
Yeah,
cool jazz. I guess you could say the cool jazz era, but
yeah,
that's typically my favorite. But um, I also like the swing big band, Duke Ellington, Johnny Hodges. That's my other. And
yep,
then bebop, of course. A lot of
yeah. That's
that
what I'm
was.
continuously working on is bebop language.
Yeah, what do you? So for the people listening, tell us about bebop, Dequan.
Uh,
Your
you
your best understanding. It's a
put me on the spot,
style.
man.
Yeah,
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 bebop is a. I mean, the way it's been explained to me, it's a style of jazz in which the virtuosity of the players highly increase. They base more of their lines on like eighth note or 16th note language, whereas before it was mainly like I mean, bebop is still melodic, but it's not. It's a different language than like the swing era was. But the level of playing became extremely high.
Oh my god,
Some people have described it as like a gatekeeping way, but
what is that? What do you mean?
gatekeeping is in like you have to have the technical facility to play the genre, and if you don't have the technical facility, then
You
you're
can't
not.
hang. You can't hang.
Yeah, you can't hang. Yeah,
But if you can play bebop, you can probably do a lot.
yeah, yeah,
The people
yeah,
I just think about, like who, like I think about Charlie Parker and
yeah.
Dizzy Gillespie and
Dizzy Gillespie, Monk was even in that era. I mean, what was at the start of the era with those guys,
yeah,
but he ventured off.
yeah. I
But
know. Yeah, I know that he was super. Speaking of Monk, I was gonna actually talk to you about him. I just got this biography about him, but Thelonious Monk, for people who don't know who that is, he's a bebop pianist, but he kind of had his own really like unique kind of like plunking style of playing, and he had a lot of like dissonant.
The thing is, he retrained himself to reimagine his sound. Like he could shred, but he wanted a different sound, so he changed his technique. His melodic ideas were a little bit different.
Wow, I did not know that. That's super cool. But on that note, who I wanted to talk to you about some of your earlier influences. Can
you pause for just once? I think your screen is just frozen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but yeah.
Is it still?
Does it matter?
No.
Yeah,
I mean, whatever I'm recording here is getting. You're not frozen, so it should be fine.
Okay, cool.
But my connection's good now.
Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead.
So you said, repeat the question one more time.
Who were some of your early influences?
Basie, Count Basie.
Right.
Especially with the big band, there's Oscar Peterson, Bill Evans. I mean, a lot of them, they're still my influences. If we're just talking about jazz, it's those three are big ones. If we're talking about outside jazz, Alicia Keys, one of like the biggest ones.
Oh yeah.
John Legend to a degree, Nora Jones.
She just put out an album.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah, I think how long ago was that?
I think it was like this week.
Oh, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was. It said it was a new. I don't know how new, but I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of piano players. Yeah.
Alicia Keys.
Alicia. I've got concert tickets to see her. I think it's in July, so hopefully that still happens.
Where?
It was supposed to be Nashville, actually.
Really?
Yeah. It was supposed to be last year, but obviously it got canceled.
Is it at Bridgestone?
I'm not. I think it's at an amphitheater or something.
Is it Ascend?
I'm not entirely sure.
Well, that's awesome. I might have to look into that. Yeah. I would love to see her.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, so you got your influences and you're at UofL and you're in theory and you're really diving in, you're doing it. When did you start writing your own music?
Well, for jazz arranging we had to.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I started arranging. Well, I can't remember which came first. I either started arranging or I joined with the band, one of the bands that I'm in, Kiana and the Sun Kings. And so when I joined that band, I started kind of arranging and writing more pop music. But of course, with my background in jazz, it had like a jazz harmonic basis. And then I started arranging in my arranging class and also with the band as well. But yeah, I don't know if there was ever like a steady, like a hard start. I mean, even as an accompanist, you're still, it's not the same, but you're still arranging on the spot. You're still writing, if that makes sense.
Right.
It's just a different mindset, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I guess my first song would have had to been for the Sun Kings.
Cool.
Don't know which one it was because we've got a couple.
When was this? Do you remember?
I joined with them about 2 or 3 years ago, I believe. 3 years ago. And yeah, from there, I mean, I've just been arranging and writing for a couple songs for them. And that's really fun. I like the diversity between the jazz and the and pop or whatever genre I decide to write. When I write, I usually don't think about what it's going to turn into or what genre. I just kind of think, hey, that idea is good. Let me roll with that,
Yeah, cool. I was going to ask you about your creative process. But also, before that, you just spoke when you said there was never really a hard like start to when you kind of started writing. But I wanted to ask you, when was it that you really realized like playing the piano and like that kind of music is what you want to make? Was that like when you got to UofL, or I'm sure it would be before because you wouldn't want to keep doing it if you like when was just that big moment for you that really was like, this is what I want to do?
I mean, honestly, it's still ongoing. So,
Right.
I mean, I know I love music and I want to keep doing that. Like, that's what I want to do. But also at the same time, it's kind of, I mean, it's all a journey. So I never decided I want to make this type of music. Like, a
Right.
lot of the stuff that I write is pop and jazz
Facts.
influence because that's my background.
Hey,
But
nice,
like,
man.
for arranging, I also had to write a string quartet, and I really like that. I like incorporating strings into my arrangements.
I
Um,
noticed on Lullabies,
yeah, on
Brown and
Lullaby,
Gold.
Fool's Gold, yeah. So it's like it's not really a I want to do this specific type of thing. It's just like whatever way I can express myself through the music, that's what's going to come out. You know.
Right.
Now I will tell you, I've been listening to a lot of Bruno Mars. I did not realize how good that man's music is.
Oh yeah.
Bruno Mars, Erykah Badu, some Beyonce. Who was the other person I was listening to? Timberland. Have you listened to any Timberland?
Oh, bro.
Yeah,
I've been on an old school kick.
yeah.
I'm not saying Timberland is old school
No, no,
because
no,
he's
yeah, no, I got
definitely
you.
very relevant. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I feel that
Like Michael Jackson, how they construct their music is just it's a lesson. Honestly, listening to it and trying to figure it out is a lesson in itself.
it's oh, absolutely. I mean, Michael Jackson alone was a genius, and
Yep.
but yeah, in terms of like Timbaland, I just look at him like really for his drums. I mean, he was like
Mhm. Yeah.
he was like revolutionary, and
Yep.
like using his mouth to make
Yeah.
sounds and like
You seen that
percussive noise.
masterclass?
I have not seen it, but I've seen the ad for it.
Yeah, I've got that masterclass, and you see him do it. I'm like, wow, that is. And if you listen to some of his tracks, his beatboxing is still in the track.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
it's and the mixing is just like
Yep.
phenomenal and
One of
stuff
my
like
new, one of my well, it's not out yet. I don't know when it's dropping, but one of my new songs, I kind of took that idea of like doing the percussion first. Because a lot of times I start with the chords because I'm a pianist, you know,
right,
or the
right.
melody. But this time I took the percussion first, and it creates a whole new vibe, man.
Oh yeah, for
Yep.
sure. The um, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. We're talking about influence,
Yep.
Timbaland. Yeah, it's just like I think it's really cool to look at modern people like that. Earlier we were talking about, past jazz musicians who are great, but with the technology advancement, the level of music and the structure and the way they structure it now, especially now in 2021, is
Hmm.
there's some discrepancy in terms of it's just so easy now. You know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
to make music, and that's a whole nother conversation. But
That just means we gotta raise the bar.
exactly. I gotta, and just stay original, man. You gotta keep your
Hmm.
music original. So yeah, it's super cool, man. So you this is what you want to do, and you're making your own music. And so let's talk about your first song that you made. Not when were you like what was the song that you've made and you finished it and you were like, this is dope, I like this.
The first one I released that was Brown and Gold, so that was the title track to the EP that came out last year. I think it was October of last year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But I wrote that song like in January or February or something. I think it was January because I was preparing for my senior recital. But I wrote that song, and that was right before like everything with Breonna Taylor and the unrest, civil unrest, and the riots and everything. Not riots, the protests
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And but I wrote that song beforehand, which is really interesting because it's like, I mean, I was thinking about my position, like in the country as a black man, and just where we were, and it's like I felt something coming, So I
Yeah.
wrote that song, and it's all about like the strength and resilience of people of color, especially black people, and then not soon after, all of that happened, and I was like, I've got to write more music to express this stuff. So a lot of like it's a 7-song EP, and I mean, really, they're all about it, but I think 5 or 6, I can really tie directly to a certain emotion of being me in America, or someone like me.
Nice, man. Absolutely. That's amazing. Yeah, 2020 was definitely a year for a creative spark and
Mhm.
a lot of civil unrest and
Yep.
was definitely a lot. But that's amazing. You were able to create this work through those times. So, So you said the album was kind of not specifically, but typically, I guess, about the kind of this being as a black man in America.
Mm-hmm.
And how many tracks is it?
It's seven.
So an EP. It's an EP, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, man. And also, quick, my mom asked, what the name Ray Keys? Where did that come from?
So my middle name is Raymond.
Raymond.
And so I just shortened it to Ray. That's one aspect of it. The second is, Ray Charles. Oops, Ray Charles, great piano player. And so I kind of just took that influence as well. And then the keys, because I play piano, and also Alicia Keys.
Okay,
so
I was wondering. I thought
yeah.
Ooh, the collab album, Alicia and Ray Keys.
I
can already see
blow
it.
this up so that can happen.
Yeah, exactly. That would be awesome, man. But I was curious. It's funny how you explained that how you made your name like based off of your influences, because I know that like Travis Scott, his real name is like Jack or Jacques or something like that. Simpson, I think, or Webster or something. But he took his uncle's first name, Travis, who he was like really close to, and then Kid Cudi's real name is Scott, and Kid Cudi is like his biggest influence, so hence Travis Scott. And it seems similar how you did it. But I thought about that the other day. I was like, Alicia Keys. I was like, I wonder if.
Oh yeah, it's definitely in there.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to. I was wondering that too. But your middle name is Raymond. That is pristine. Ray. That's a nice name, man.
Thanks.
Cool. So Brown and Gold comes out. What? Well, first of all, what was the album process like for a? I've had a lot of hip hop artists and rappers on here. What is the album process like for a solo pianist musician?
What it was really interesting. I kind of enjoyed it actually. The fact that we were in a pandemic. Not that I enjoyed that whole thing, but the process obviously changed greatly from what it would have normally been. Usually you would meet up with a lot of people, do things in person to facilitate the communication. But I had to do it all, through text or online or email. So a lot of it was me writing the song, writing the lyrics, sending parts to people, asking if they'd be on it, sending them how I would do it, and then taking out their part, them sending it back, going back and forth about what I want, what I don't want, how they can express themselves through my music, I actually really enjoyed that communication.
Yeah.
And it also kind of made mixing easier, but we'll see. My mixing engineer might disagree. Shout out at Casey Powell Music.
Yeah, you know what? The relationship, the artist engineer relationship, is a forever struggle, and that's just how it is.
But getting all that out and then recorded took. Honestly, I fast tracked it because I wanted to get out during a time where people were still paying attention. So the meaning behind the album or the EP. But beyond that, the communication with the musicians was nice. Then getting it to Casey Powell Music, to mix it, the whole thing, and he's really good about it because I was able to go in there with him and we could go back and forth about what the music needed, instead of him just mixing it and then going back and forth that way. So we did that in person because I'm around him all the time, and so that was really helpful. And then I had it mastered at Dead Bird Studios. Dave over there did a great job as well. So it really turned out well for my first time, making my own stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome that you were able to enjoy it that much.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime, were there any I'm sure there was some stressful moments. Any time you're trying to reflect your thoughts and ideas artistically, there's gonna be something that you run into. It's just with anything. But was there ever something like that?
To be honest, not anything not anything extreme.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Especially for your first album.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it's more like with me than the other musicians because it's never going to be as good as it is in my head, if that makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
like you hear the world, but you can only you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So I think that was something that I had to get over, and also like just like within the writing process, just taking an idea and running with it, and not giving up on an idea too quickly, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
you said that's kind of how you like to write, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I honestly a lot of the time when I'm writing, like I have a spark, and then the rest of it just kind of like falls into place. But I have to know that that spark is worth something before I give it up. So sometimes I'll have something I'm like that could be cool, but I'm like it doesn't. You have to sometimes you have to work with it, and
Yeah.
I initially didn't want to work with everything, but now that I'm getting more exposed to like popular music and just different genres, I'm like anything can work. You just have to know how to finesse it, I guess.
True. Anything can work. Just finesse it. That's a
Yeah.
good. That's a good point. Here, what's up? My dad's in here now talking about. He says, fun fact for your name,
Hmm.
Reiki is another form. Oh, like Reiki. Reiki is a Japanese form of alternative medicine called energy healing. I think
I
when
think that fits me, honestly.
yeah, that's what he's saying. He says you have energy. And also, when Nikki D'Ambrosio was on here, she talked about this, about Reiki. I remember her
Hmm.
saying that. We talked a little bit about that. Interesting. Thanks, Dad.
Oh,
Shout out to Dad.
yeah, thank you. And I forgot there was one more aspect to the name actually. Rey, Rey in Spanish means king. Black royalty, and so that was kind of like a play on it as well.
And
Uh,
yeah, for that
yeah,
album especially. Well, I know it's your name and not the album name, but
yeah, yeah,
still,
yeah.
that definitely has a good connection.
Yep.
Backtrack real quick. When you were talking about the album process, you said that the communication with how you talked to people about how you wanted to let them express themselves through your music. What do you mean by that exactly? What is that? How does that go?
So I really just gave them an idea. Like a lot of times, what I would do, I didn't write down the music. I would just start programming in Logic, badly, but I would start. And then once I got kind of like a basic demo, I would talk. I would call someone or text them like, "Can you do this type of thing on this track?" Or sometimes I'd just be like, "Hey, can you put some guitar on this? Or can you put some, drums on this?" And I trusted the people that I asked enough that it turned out how I wanted, or it turned out in a way that I think it was better than if I had just done it myself. So a lot of times, like I just started recording, or I had drums and bass recorded um, for another song that isn't out yet, um, and I had an idea of what I wanted, but I basically just asked a great drummer, Will Breckenridge, Willie Beeman, and Jalen Lake Noel, who was I think lady bass, and I
Lady
was like, "Can you
bass.
put some drums on this? Can you put some bass on this?" And I trusted them enough that they just did it and did it quickly, and it turned out really well. You all haven't heard that one yet, but hopefully soon.
Sweet. Super cool. Yeah, I like how you describe that as, reaching out to others to let them express themselves through your music because that's
Hmm.
part of it. Really, what obviously what you just said, but it's, working with as many people as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Not necessarily as possible, but like
Hmm.
working with. It's only going to help you as an artist.
Yeah, yep, and help you grow and learn. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, they probably did it better than I could have explained it to them. You know,
Sometimes
because
you just gotta.
that's their
Sometimes,
forte.
yeah, exactly. You just gotta let them do it.
Let them work.
And it's really cool when they do reflect exactly what you're wanting.
Mhm.
That's definitely an amazing thing. So, okay, so the album's out. Your first album process was unbelievable. Now you've got to single out "Harder Days."
Mhm.
Talk about that.
That one, I kind of just want to make a song that felt good. You know, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the songs for I mean, they felt good on the first album, but they all had a meaning, and this one does too. But I feel like it's brighter.
Yeah.
So the lines in the song, if I can remember my lyrics,
Uh-oh.
um, is "You make me so weak in the knees, I can hardly see when harder days have come." Um, oh, I talk about sunshine is what happens. I talk about sunshine, and basically, and one of the posts that I made about that song is just like a sun shining down. It's just harder days on the bottom, but it's just about being with the people that you love, and helping each other get through. You know, especially now we're still in this pandemic. We all need a little, you know, bright sunshine and friendship in our lives to help us
Absolutely.
get through. And that was what that song was about. And it kind of took the lens of just like a love and
Yes,
like
Sarsky.
I guess amorous love, but it could relate to platonic love, you know, any familial love, just being there for each other in these
Yeah.
hard days.
Something, so it's a simple message and it makes
Yeah.
sense, and it's like you just wanted to I've seen this producer video, this guy named Kirk Knight, and he was talking about, he produced this track for ASAP Ferg, and he was like, man, like he was like, sometimes that rappers just want, I mean, most of the time rappers just want to have fun, and you just got to
Mm-hmm.
make something that in add two totally different genres,
Yep.
but you know, they just wanted to have fun, and you just got to make it and just be lit. And
Mm-hmm.
I could see that in the song Harder Days, and the fact that it's a single, and literally what you just said, you wanted to just make something kind of for you, I guess you could say,
Mm-hmm.
and but still have a good message in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, dude, I used, for the background on my screen, I used one of those pictures that you sent me, and it's like scrolling by, but it's
Yeah.
so big and up close. It's just like this big. I'm trying to fix it. It's just like a big thing of your face, but
Yeah.
the blue background, it's that picture of you in that
Oh,
shirt.
yeah.
But
Yep.
it's like right up. I don't know why it's so. The picture is so huge. I'm trying to make it better,
Well, I'll
but
have to see it later when I go back
yeah,
to the video.
I'm trying to make it a little smaller here. But anyways, yeah. So let's see what we were just talking about, the single, the Harder Day
Yep.
single. So do you talk about you kind of on this route releasing some singles here in the future? Correct. What's why you want to do that?
I'm still not entirely sure. I'm kind of just playing it as I go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking I want to release them as singles rather than EPs because it just one, it's easier to release singles because you don't have to wait, and I'm just excited as anyone else to release some music. Um,
True.
so yeah, just to get stuff out, it's just nice, and you know, to have, I guess, a line of things also helps reach people more, um, for exposure and just for communication, and it's just a lot. It's a lot easier than waiting to
Yeah.
release an EP. Plus, with an EP or an album, you have to have a consistent sound. But I don't always want a consistent sound over every single song because they all have different vibes. You know, you want to best represent the song how it should be, rather than grouping them together. If that makes sense.
Cool. And so I like what you said. You don't have to wait as long because you're not doing like a compilation. You can just put your singles out. Obviously,
Yep.
you want to get it mixed and mastered and stuff, but
Yeah.
you don't have
Yeah.
to wait as long, and
Mhm.
it's a easier way to get your message out. And that's the route to go nowadays. People really, essentially, people aren't really listening to albums.
Mm.
People obviously listen to albums, but in terms of the streaming now and the with Instagram, and it's all about, you know, your followers and your fan base, singles are the way to go, because it's like, you know,
Yep.
the likelihood of somebody sitting down and listening to a whole album now, that's why you need a hit song, and it's really always been like that. If you're
Mhm.
making an album, you typically want to have a hit, at least one, so it be on the radio. But it's not even like that now. You need a hit song so you can get on TikTok or something
Yeah.
like that, and then it gets
Yep.
even bigger and gets you more followers. So
Mhm.
it's just like the single is just like uh, definitely a way to go now, especially. But what I wanted to ask you, your take on streaming in the music industry. What's obviously it's the streaming platforms are, with anything, video, Netflix, anything like that, are the way to go. But what's your take on it musically? Do you like it? Do you?
I I like the ease of access, and of
Hmm.
course I use them too. So I can't, you know, say it's terrible and then
Yeah,
go,
yeah,
but it's terrible just because. I mean, the ease of access is nice, and the fact that you can reach a lot of people is really nice.
true.
Just on the artist side, the lack of pay for the artist is astounding. You
Compared
know,
to if somebody just like bought
bought
your
a
single
CD,
from
yeah,
iTunes or downloaded it
uh,
like that, or bought your
yeah.
CD.
I mean,
Can you imagine
yeah,
someone buying a CD?
yep. The real today nowadays, the real money from being an artist. I mean, you could sell your music from publishing, but it doesn't come from streaming. It's like publishing or it's merchandise, or really it's touring. Live shows is where the money is, which I have not done a live show. I should do that at some point, but we'll see how that works out.
Definitely should do that.
Right now, I'm more comfortable just with staying behind the keyboard, or playing in other groups.
Yeah.
But I'll have to think about that. But yeah, the money's not in the streaming. It's like point something 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 cents for one player. So it takes a really long time. It's almost like in the industry you have to already be somewhere to make any money.
Or with a label, and if
Or the label.
you want to establish yourself
Yeah, just
before you get with a
that.
label, because
Yeah, exactly.
labels are like notorious for ruining artists, as that But on another note, when you said that touring is your way to make money, if you're with a label, touring is the way to make money. Russ, the rapper Russ, he was talking on his Instagram live about. He was like, basically, the labels are lying to you, like that. Well, not really, because that is the way if you're with a label, because they typically own your masters and they're getting a lot of your money. And if you're independent, like Russ is, he was like, I can just sit at home all day and make songs and put them out through TuneCore, and they're streaming, and I get all of that money. And that's
exactly.
a simple concept, because he would make all of his money back, and he has. And he, so it's just like, it's a total with streaming but more so, this is just being independent. Being independent at first could be great, and he's made it work forever. But
Yeah, there are a bunch of different avenues to go by. It's
Yeah.
not a one path fit all.
Yeah, and definitely, but establishing yourself, if you do sign with a label, you want to establish yourself first. So cool. Yeah, I was just curious on your take on the current industry. So, you've got singles out, you've got your music out. Kiana and the Sun Kings, tell us about them.
I joined with them about, I think it was 3 years ago. We started playing at a place called the Red Herring, which is over on Frankfurt Avenue. And that was a weekly gig. I think we played for like 3.5, 4 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
Which I used to do a lot of those long gigs before, is how I kind of got started in this gigging community. But with them, I've been with them for like 3 years, I guess. And a lot of what I do, obviously, is a keyboard player. But the other part is like, if someone brings a song in and we needed to flesh out the idea, we really work collaboratively on building that up. Where I might bring in a song, and then do the same process pretty much. But I think that goes back to what I was saying about the collaboration. I really enjoy that, and how we get to help each other and build each other's ideas, and support each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, where are they from, Kiana and the Sun Kings?
I think most of them are from here. I'm not entirely sure, but I know they all started at Bellarmine, and that's where they formed the group. And then I joined up later. But yeah, I'm really glad I got that opportunity, and then I'm with them today.
What's the instrument?
Instrumentation?
Yeah. I was trying to think of the word. Yeah.
We've got vocals, and that's Kiana Benhofer, Kiana Dell. We've got Matt McKay on flute. I have to make sure I don't forget anybody, because it's a 7-piece band. We've got Trevin Little on saxophones. We've got Fiona Polinsky on drums. We've got Phil. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his last name. I got to get this right. Let me look it up. Hold on. Phil
Spector.
No. Phil. Why can I not remember his last name? Phil Bullock on, Phil Bullock on bass, Harris Boyer on guitar, and myself on keys. I think that's it. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody.
So it's what? It's a quintet?
That's septet. That's 7.
Okay.
Guitar, keyboard,
okay.
bass, drums, two. We got flute and sax. Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. And
big group.
Yeah, dude, it makes me think of the Sun Kings. It makes me think of Sun Ra, and like,
oh yeah,
that's
Hmm.
That's cool, man. And
We've got music on the way too.
okay,
Uh, we've got a single coming out on the 23rd.
what
Yeah,
it
last week. It's called Cold. It'll be on all streaming platforms, and it's Kiana and the Sun Kings.
is it? What's your Instagram? Is it Sun King Jazz?
Sun Kings Jazz. Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm about to follow it.
Cool.
Cool, man. Okay, okay, okay.
And we're
Nice.
starting to book gigs again throughout the pandemic, so that's really good. Some stuff is starting to open up. We're planning some shows now. Actually, we'll be performing at the I guess the waterfront on the 30th. That's full band, and
Mm.
then actually right after that, a quartet of us. I won't be in that group, the quartet, but they're going over to play um, at Z Bar, I believe. But the first show um, is we're opening for Bendigo Fletcher, and Bo is also on that lineup. And then at Z Bar, where they're opening for Mama Said String Band. So that's really cool. Making more connections throughout.
Absolutely, absolutely. I miss playing live shows. I worked with a rapper down here, and I would play sax in a lot of his live shows,
Hmm.
and that's always super fun. Uh, Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
So you're tied in, man. You got, like you said, making connections.
Hmm.
Getting, and this song is called "Cold" that's coming out, the
Yep.
single.
Yep.
And when is that? You said
I think it's April 23rd. That's a Friday. Yep, April 23rd. So less than a week.
what is today? Yeah, today's Saturday. Okay, cool. Yeah, sweet, man. Absolutely. So, all right. So you're uh during all this, I see the Sun Kings. You all were performing, and it looked like y'all were all right up on each other, but y'all all had masks on. It
Yeah.
looks like it was where'd that go? Was it
Probably in a rehearsal space.
Yeah, it looks like
We
it.
meet,
Looks like
yeah,
somebody's closet or garage or something.
yeah. We
Yeah.
meet weekly at Logan Street rehearsal space, and yeah, we take all the protections, use masks, hand sanitizer. Um, I mean, because we want to keep creating, we're going to keep writing, we're going to keep performing,
Right.
and you do the work, right?
Absolutely. Well, that leads me into my next question. So, how has the pandemic affected you as a musician?
Uh, Especially in the beginning, work just disappeared,
Yeah, it sounds like it.
which was not fun because I went from gigging like a lot to,
To not.
I mean, I was doing full-time, so my time was taken up by that too. But I went from gigging decently to not at all, and so the bank dried up a little bit. But it started to open back up. I started teaching more, like at School of Rock. Um, and so I mean, I've not had any complaints through it. Just because I mean, stuff happens and you just got to roll with it.
True. Stuff happens. Got to roll with it. So, yeah, last year was definitely rough, but you made an album out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And I probably would not have done that if I didn't have the time. You know.
True. 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 Well, sweet, Dequan. You got this might be the perfect segue. What you got a little tune prepared for us, buddy?
Sure. I'll play a jazz tune.
Go
Just
ahead.
because
Whatever you want to play, man. So we're
that's
just yeah. So Daquan's got his obviously you see his piano set up there, and he's just using your phone audio. You said to
this is the computer audio.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And you teach lessons like that, right? So you just over the
Sometimes, yep, through
okay.
Zoom or through FaceTime.
Cool, man. Well, let me get you on the. Let me switch screens here. Well, yeah, man.
Let me.
Take it away.
I'm gonna look up who this song is by so I can just shout it out. But I'm gonna play "Tenderly," and that was written by Walter Gross, the old jazz guy. So,
Old jazz guy. Take it
or
away.
actually, he's probably a musical guy. But anyway, Broadway.
man. Beautiful, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That is awesome. So, God,
Appreciate that.
man, it's just like, I remember when we were over at Blazes one time, and he was just like, after you left, he was like, yo, every time I try to think about playing the piano, I think about Dequan, and I just don't even try.
No, man, we all gotta try. I'm still learning. Man,
yeah.
the amount of work that we all have to do, honestly. But speaking for myself, I know there's like work I have to do.
Oh, yeah,
but,
absolutely.
I mean, always keep working, you know?
And that was Tenderly by Walter Gross.
Yep.
Sounded beautiful, man.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, Dequan, amazing. Appreciate that. And before I let you go, man, we got a little segment for you. We got the
okay.
let me drop you down into the Lush lockdown, my guy. So, what this
I don't
is?
have to see anything, do I?
No.
Hear you.
You're because
okay.
you're on the. Yeah, no, you
Cool.
won't be able to see anything. All right, got a couple of questions for you, totally opinion based. About Louisville. About Louisville. Let me get my timer pulled up here.
Putting the pressure on the belt.
Oh, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous now. Don't be slipping up. All right. There we go. All right, you got 10 seconds. First question. You are in Louisville. You have $10 in your pocket. Uh-oh. Can you hear me, Dequan? Yeah, he got so nervous he just quit. Let's call him back. Hey, you good?
Yeah, I was like, he's gone.
We thought you got so nervous you quit. You couldn't take the pressure. All right.
Well, you're moving now, so that's good.
Yeah. All right. 10 seconds.
Okay.
You're in Louisville. You have $10 to eat. Where are you going to eat? You got 9 seconds.
I'm probably going to Burger Boy just because I don't eat there a lot. Burger Boy's good.
Classic answer, man. I have not eaten there.
Sweet.
Yeah, I haven't eaten there since senior year of high school, bro. That was
really?
like, yeah, no, that was that.
You gotta go.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, well, you're, you know, after you went to college right down the street from it, so.
No, I know. Yeah.
But that definitely was like the spot before jazz band practice. I remember that, or after, or before concerts. A lot of people would go there. Cool, man. Good answer. Nobody said that, but that is I know that's a popular spot. All right. Dequan. Favorite venue in Louisville to gig or perform at? You got 9 seconds.
I mean, it used to be
4, 3, 2.
Jimmy Can't Dance. Jeez, it used to be Jimmy Can't Dance, but that's closed. That just closed.
I heard that they just closed. Great
I mean,
place.
that was kind of like a hub, you know, where
For jazz.
Jazz a lot. I mean, other genres as well. But that was like the jazz club of Louisville, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But that just moved. Hopefully, something opens up and takes its place, you know.
Yeah, that was a cool spot. I went there a couple times with Julia Smith and her family to see the Peanuts Christmas.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, definitely a great time. They got a drink there called the Charlie Parker.
Yep.
I can't remember what's in it, but it's good, man. The cool little place. It is sad that they closed. Mm-hmm. Did the sandwich shop close too?
Yep. Because they were bought. The building was bought.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep.
Okay. Well, cool, man. Good answer. That's definitely a you know, you go downstairs. It's like it's like an exclusive little thing.
Speakeasy.
Yeah,
Yep.
Exactly. Speakeasy. All right. Let's see what you think about this, Dequan.
Okay.
Alicia Keys or Ray Charles? You got 9 seconds.
Dude.
6.
I have to go with Alicia. That's
okay.
like blasphemous as well, because like, I mean, Alicia is one of the reasons why I play piano.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
I may love Ray Charles, but
Yeah.
I gotta go with Alicia.
Good question. I mean, good. That's why I asked. That is a tough question. A lot of angles to consider in 10
Especially
seconds.
because like Ray paved the path too. So yeah, it's difficult.
Too much.
Did you ask a question?
Huh?
Did you ask another question?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I usually just ask 3, but
cool.
okay. Well, Dequan, let's see where your true allegiance lies. You got 5 seconds.
What?
UK or U of L, buddy?
UofL. What are you talking about?
Boo.
Nah, no. That's not even a question. My whole family is like diehard UofL.
Yeah, my whole family actually went to UK, except for me.
Yeah.
So I grew up a UK fan. But, I mean, considering you went to U of L, so
Yeah.
not much you can do there. Same with Josh.
My dad has like a corner in our basement that's like a UofL, a signed UofL football and like a poster and like some other stuff. Yeah, so no, it's not even a question.
Yeah, understandable. Well, Dequan, I cannot thank you enough for coming on here and blessing our
Thank
ears.
you for having me, man.
Dude, yeah, definitely great show. This classic episode, bro. And thank you for playing. And I would love to hear that, not over computer audio sometimes, because that would be amazing. And I think I'll go ahead and say, Dequan, that I'm gonna hire you to play at my wedding. So just
Spring the Benjamins.
just know that.
Just kidding.
I will do that.
At Nick Brewer not Ray Keys. That's me. At Icon Visuals, the visuals that you're seeing across the screen were taken by him.
Oh yeah.
Give a few quick shout outs throughout the video and check those guys out. Great Louisville natives. And let's just spread the love like we've been doing, you know.
Absolutely.
Yes,
That's the goal.
Starsky.
Shine light on the native creatives in Louisville, man.
Yeah.
So, Dequan, any last words?
Now you really put me on the spot. Just keep doing what you're doing, spread the love, and let's make the world a better place.
Absolutely, bro. Appreciate that. And real quick, so be sure to follow the Sun Kings Jazz guys on Instagram. It's just Sun Kings Jazz is one word. And then Dequan, your Ray Keys Music.
Ray Keys Music.
Also
shout out. I joined a new band, and we're playing on a joint show with the Sun Kings and another band as well, and we're called Honey Smack at Honey Smack. I think our Instagram is live, but we're about to start posting content, so look out for that as well. Great new music coming from a bunch of different places. Louisville is it's popping. I guess that's what Jack Harlow would say.
That was good, Dequan. That was funny. Good joke. You said that like you didn't want to say it, but you just had to. It just had to be said. It's just too corny at this point. He said, "I guess that's what Jack Harlow would say." That's funny, man. Well, all right, Dequan. Have a blessed, great rest of your Saturday,
you.
and
You too.
that shout out to everybody in the chat, mom, dad. Appreciate y'all, and
Might have to pop down to Nashville and we can make some music soon.
absolutely. And I might have to join you at that Alicia Keys concert. I don't know if you're I would love to
Join. The more the merrier.
let's do it, man. And that's in July, you said?
I believe the end of July, yes.
Okay, end of July.
Like
All right,
July
well,
1st or something.
I'll definitely keep that in mind, man.
Cool.
But yeah, Dequan, have a good day, and
Dude, you
appreciate
too.
you again, and good luck at your rehearsal tonight. Or was that
I'm
tonight?
recording.
Recording.
Yeah, so more music on the way.
Where at?
I'm
Ladyland?
just recording here at my place. I'm having a Blakely. I don't know if you know Blakely, a violinist.
Yes, I do. She went to GSA. She was at GSA. Yeah.
I'm having her come over and record. That's who's on my That's who did some of the strings on my first my EP.
I did not know that. Yeah, she was cool. Little short girl.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I remember her.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. Where at? Where are you recording? What is that studio? Oh, just at your place?
Yeah.
Okay. What's that studio that you've done some recording at that's really nice? Lady Electric. What is it called? The place out.
I not recorded there. Like for the first EP and actually a lot of the single stuff, I just recorded on my own. Now I did record for a new song, drums and bass at my roommate Steven's studio, and that's at Ember or EMBR Entertainment. If you want to get your recording needs done here in Louisville, you can go there.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of my stuff I just did, DIY.
Okay. Now, but what is the name of that studio? I'm totally blanking. The where My Morning Jacket records is like. It's like I'm pretty sure it's Electric Ladyland, or is that a store?
That sounds familiar.
That's a store.
But I'm not sure. La La Land.
That's it. La La Land Studios. That's
Sun
it.
Kings, so Sun Kings has got some songs in the way. 2 EPs. The first one is done, and we will, eventually let that out, release that. But we recorded at La La Land for that. So,
okay, cool. Yeah, no, that's it. La La Land is the name of that studio. Definitely a cool space. But yeah, man, sweet. All right, Dequan, I'll let you go. Have a good day,
Thank you.
and tell Blakely I said Kevin James says what's up.
Will do.
All right, bro. Peace out.
See ya. Peace.
See ya. What a show, man. Definitely great to link back up with Dequan. Amazing pianist. Glad we get to hear him play. Not the best over the computer audio, but still you can see that those notes are so sweet when he hits them right, man. And he always does. So but yeah, other than that, we got episode 30 next week. Big show. Got somebody special planned for that. It's the end of season 3, 30 episodes. It's amazing. A year. It's almost been a year. May 23rd, I believe, is the day that Dequan and I recorded the first episode of Lush Louisville. So that's pretty cool. Coming up on a year. Other than that, we got Derby in 2 weeks. Derby City. I'll probably be in town for that. I don't know if I'm gonna go, but I'm definitely gonna party. Since last year we didn't have one. Well, I guess we did, but it was in like September, something like that. But yeah, other than that, that's all I got for you. Sorry about the streaming connection was kind of in and out a little bit. That's the first time that's happened this season. But it looks like we're good now. But yeah. Yeah, so that's all I got for today. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and the full edited video will be out shortly. But for now, enjoy the streamed version. So, yep. Thank you for tuning in. Episode 29 of
Yes, Sarsky.